Hi, I'm Paul Feig, and welcome to the making of Spy.
Just to work with Paul was a big thing for me. And if you're going to, step into an area that you're not too familiar with, you may as well do it with the best of the best.
He makes you feel very quickly like you're there because he wants you there and because he trusts you. And so that kind of confidence that a director has in you is really beneficial to giving him what he wants.
Melissa, try the one you pitched. That was weird.
On action.
That was weird.
He really roots for everybody to do their best possible performance. And he's so encouraging that everybody does really rise up to what he thinks you can do. And that's a pretty fun day at work.
What's the secret? Huh? What is it, buddy? Oh, you pissed and shit on me.
Oh my God. He likes you.
Sorry. He's claimed me as his own.
I love to get the input of all my actors because what I don't want is to just shoot the lines that we have in the script. I want to have alternate jokes and I want to dig deeper into the characters. I want to see where people's heads are at. And so nothing makes me happier when somebody says, oh, hey, Paul, can I try one? I have an idea. I'm like, go for it.
He got that thin, bony leg up in places. And I had to watch those fucking tapes. And that's a horror show. You're not supposed to. I've seen him put his foot in things.
It's a constant creative collaboration. There truly is no bad idea. Like, we try everything, because you never know.
I think, he's very good at judging when people are comfortable. And when they are, that's when he starts to play with the words with you. And he's wonderful, and he asks for your input, and it feels truly collaborative.
So much develops with him on set. And I think he was sweetly sort of said when me and Melissa first did a scene together, he was like, it was all that I hoped for. Which was like, oh.
Well-behaved women often make history.
Yes, you do know the phrases. Well-behaved women seldom make history.
Yeah, that's never how she said it.
What were her others?
If first you don't succeed, try something else.
Yeah. Or what about her? Susan, if at first you don't succeed, stop.
And now you've already gone to your favorite place.
Yeah. My favourite though, the classic. Susan, you can't do. I won't do the accent. Susan. I'm trapped behind a camera. Because I'm doing the offline. Susan can hear me in her ear.
There is nothing in real life that someone could do to a spy that is filthier or more upsetting than what my brain will cook up right now.
We've got alternative lines. The yellow is alternative jokes.
Why are you humming? Is there something wrong? Are the perverts making you sing? Is that part of their profession? Where have you been? Are you humming a code?
I also operate the camera. Yeah, it's looking good. As you can see, the director's a big fan of my work. It was all a joke!
Anyway,
you can tell he's a great writer. You know what I mean? At the same time, because he'll come over to me with things that he's jotted down while the scene was actually taking place. So it means while you're actually there, he's going, it would be great if he get him to do this. And he comes in and says, try this.
We have a framework to start with, and then from that, people are letting what's being filmed sort of percolate and morph into bigger and bolder and weirder ideas, and so you tend to keep rolling and trying different stuff.
So hard to get good help these days. 3 of a kind. 3 good suits ruined. Pity.
awesome.
A couple of the actors have come up to me who've started after me and gone, how does it work? What about these post-it notes? Yeah, you hear about this writer who writes post-it notes. And what, you're just giving them there and then? And it does sound much more terrifying than it is. And then you realise everyone's in the same boat.
You know, that all these post-its come and it's, throwing lines at you. You really have to, you have to be wide awake for that kind of stuff.
I can say fucking Bulgarian bitch.
Fucking Bulgarian?
Yeah. Load it up.
I swallowed enough microchips and shit them back out again.
You have to have alternate material, especially when you do comedy. To go into any sort of a comedy and just shoot the jokes that you have in the script is a very, very dangerous thing.
I meant not. I wanna bring the mood down. No right.
It's fun, you know. You just got to think on your feet and be, you know, quick about it and just try things and not be too precious. I probably is the best way I would describe it. Just to jump in and go for it. Some things work and some things don't.
As a director, I like to get a lot of alternate material and really just cover myself with a lot of coverage, and that even extends to a stills shoot.
Oh my God!
When I wrote that part, I knew there's really only one man for the role. Let's just say his properties speak for themselves. He could have a career in many types of film, let's just say, and so he gray stars.
Well, I mean, God, you just have to inhibit your character, and when you are given such a nice piece of equipment to work with, it just goes quite naturally. No, it's not my real penis. It's actually attached to some shorts. It's got some nice fake pubes here. Clearly, my character is really proud of his member, and so he takes lots of pictures of it. And so we just found some really nice spots, some quite artistic places, just to show his full potential. Yeah, it's my new friend, and I'm keeping it.
It's like those movies when they show like in Hollywood and like walking around the back lot and there's like an astronaut. So, there's just a man with his dick out walking around.
You hear him laughing. Like in the middle of a take, you literally hear like, ah! And you're like, Paul, you're ruining the take. Sorry, go ahead.
He's really the best audience because he laughs a lot. That's a good sign when you're shooting a comedy when the director's laughing.
Hello, bound lady.
And now, hold on.
I came to set, and then he said, okay, right, sit down, put your hands behind your back, and I had my hands tied up with rope, and turning over, and I was like, oh my God.
If we were naked, this would feel amazing.
If we were naked, this would feel amazing.
You know, it's my first day working with Melissa, and I'm sort of bouncing all over and dangling my scrotum in her face.
If only I had buck teeth.
If only I had buck teeth.
But yeah, it was a funny way to get to know somebody. It was a perfect icebreaker, yeah.
If I were that close to your colon, you would be screaming with ecstasy.
He gave me walking stick lessons as well. I had to twirl this walking stick, and you know, it looks pretty easy, but it was actually quite difficult.
The trick with a walking stick, especially, is to not look like one needs a walking stick. If you put it down on every step, then it looks like you have a bad leg, and then it's just a cane. But if you walk jauntily with it, then it's a walking stick.
I eventually got it. I think on one take I managed to do it. The key apparently is to use your forward momentum.
You have to know how to spin it, and it has to be. He was spinning it the wrong way, and so we had to teach him how to spin it with his body as he moves forward to let his forward momentum help with the spin. And so I think he did a good job. I think it looks very convincing. He looks handsome with it. That was my personal umbrella, by the way, making a cameo in this movie.
Paul Feig's the only guy I've ever known to carry a walking stick, you know, besides Mr. Peanut. So that's who I base my character on, a little bit of Paul Feig and a little Mr. Peanut. I'm surprised I don't have a monocle.
I love pictures of old Hollywood, and you would see all the directors and the crew, too, in suits and ties. And I just like the look of that.
I've never met a smarter individual. I didn't know that he appeared impeccable every day. I thought there'd be a, you know, one sloppy day, but no. I mean, I just think it really suits him, and he wears it so well.
You know, he's a bit of a dandy, you know, and he's got lots of these amazing, immaculate suits, all these tailor-made Savile Row suits. And this one is actually from Savile Row. It's Chester Berry.
The specifics of what and how he saw fine dressed were clearly from someone who appreciated the finer details of, you know, making oneself look smart.
Yeah, Paul don't be bullshitting, man. He come in here, you know exactly what he want. He come dressed for success, baby. Motherfucker look like Buddy. He come in, I'm like, goddamn. So this how you do it? Every day, huh? Non-stop, huh? Suit, 3-piece. He ain't even gonna leave a piece out.
What else can you say about Paul? He just always looks so incredibly immaculate and everything. And I just wonder how many suits there actually are. Who knows?
I think the question was asked of him yesterday, where could he go now after Canes, and I think his word was capes. So I think he's been thinking about it.
I'll be stealing this car now, so pardon me.
He's just got like a comedy skeleton, you know? It just flows through him, you know? And so from an actor and comedian point of view, he's brilliant.
He creates these environments where people can be real and happy to be together, as opposed to sets or movies where everything's tense and how come the light's here and this and that, and it's so about the group and the sense of community that really makes these things work.
Get some nappies for the pram.
I'm exhausted. I need a drink. The last thing I want is somebody to show up on set and just read the lines that we gave them. I love to get ideas from people. I love to hear what they have to say, and nothing makes me happier when they go, hey, I got an idea. I'm like, try it.
I said to Paul, wouldn't it be funny if all the girls in the movie got pregnant with Rick Ford's baby? And he said it'd be very difficult to put that on screen, but...
Wait, we didn't do that? Gosh, I swear we did that.
Yeah, I've pitched a really strong idea for the ending of the movie, actually. We dive in to the lake and come up with dolphin masks and do a sort of routine, and you just get a bit of kind of undulation in the water. What's more beautiful and free than a dolphin? Nothing.
Yeah, that lake was way colder than it looked.
I like it. I think he's thinking about it.
That's simply not the case.
I thought maybe I would pitch to Paul that my character would have a case of Tourette's, so that there would be intermittent periods where this stony, silent Chechnyan would just burst into song.
Oh gosh, you know, I did write that down, and then I lost the notepad, I think.
Maybe Raina had just like a pet parrot on her shoulder the whole time. We could bring the bird handler in. Be really easy.
Sadly, I have this horrible, debilitating allergy to parrots. Otherwise, that would have been a great idea.
But I think it would have accessorized quite well with the hair and the outfit. But next time.
When Fine's been injured, I thought that'd be quite good in the sequel if Fine is the villain, you see. And he's lost his arm, so he can have a metal arm and he can be a morphine-addled bad guy.
Sadly, the bionic arm supplier in Hungary let us down.
Well, he didn't say no.
Sometimes there's just great, great ideas that you have to let go.
You know, I thought at one point it'd be kind of cool if we sort of saw him from the waist up, you know, and then maybe 3/4 of the way through the film, he didn't have pants on.
Oh my God, such a great idea. But the censors would just censor it. That's what censors do.
And then Paul came back at me with, well, what if he has a cigarette holder? And then I thought, well, monocle. I haven't seen that in a while. And I think Paul really did think about that one.
Yeah, Bob Yeoman, our director of photography, he really freaked out about the whole monocle things. Something to do with reflections, I don't know. So we had to lose it. It's really sad.
I would pitch that Aldo has his cock out for the entire movie. And fully erect.
Yeah, censors again. Censors.
I think he's going to go for it and add it in post, CG.
I mean, sadly, you can't include everybody's ideas. So I kind of feel like if you can't include everybody's ideas, you should pretty much include nobody's ideas, which is kind of what we went with in the end.
What the fuck are you doing in here, asshole? You're coming with me. I'm going to fucking fuck. You're your fucking teacher. Ain't nobody orders me around. So get the fuck out of my way. Or quit.
Did you forget? I am undercover because you're not supposed to be here.
Well, I make a habit of doing things that people say I can't do. Walk through fire, water ski blindfolded, take up piano at a late.
He called me, he goes, so, mate, are you gonna go do that spy movie? And I was like, fuck yeah, bro. I said, and you are too, right? He goes, yeah, mate, we're gonna do it. I like that Paul guy.
Jason Statham
is a god who walks among us. I've been a fan of his from day one. I mean, the first time I saw him in Lock, Stock, I was like, that guy's great, he's funny, and this and that. And so I was like, I gotta get him to do a comedy. And I kind of, over the years, was like, what was it gonna be? And so when I was writing the script, I knew I needed this rival spy who was kind of over testosterone. It was like, this has to be Statham.
Was it your mission to tip off the target so he burns everything in advance? If so, well done. Phenomenal job.
I mean, I've done sort of black comedies with Guy Ritchie, but not full-on, you know, rib ticklers like this one is.
Too dangerous. We're the fucking CIA, not a bunch of school crossing guards. I've swallowed enough microchips and shit them back out again, enough to make a fucking computer.
We all kind of know him as being this really tough guy and a guy who, you know, has kicked multitudes of ass.
It's what he does so brilliantly and has done so brilliantly in so many films, successful films. It just happens to be in a film that also has this wonderfully funny theme to it.
Glad you're still alive, Beverly. Oh! Fucking girly wanker. Sorry about that. Nice work, Cooper.
The highlight for me in this movie has been watching his journey. Like, because I spend so much time with him on the road in different locations. To come here and watch him be the heel is one of the coolest experiences I've had.
I did not think that Jason Statham would be my new comedy crush. That guy is so funny.
Get off me!
Paul's got such an interesting eye because he just knew Jason could do comedy and would be funny. And he's right.
I'm losing my grip. Clench your off! Clench your fucking off!
It's an admirable thing to do because I don't know a lot of actors that are willing to do that, and so it makes it sort of extra funny. We're kind of in on a joke a little bit.
I've jumped from a high-rise building using only a raincoat as a parachute and broke both legs upon landing. And I still had to pretend I was in a fucking Cirque du Soleil show.
It's played really straight, which is one of the reasons I thought, you know, I'll get involved, because the last thing I want to do is, you know, make a fool of myself in something that, you know, in the end of the day is going to turn out quite silly. And Paul told me he wanted to make a serious movie that had sort of situational comedy and obviously great performances with Melissa and, you know, some mad things to say.
That's one of my favorite moments in the movie. Jason commits so hardcore to being total, well, let's not say idiot. Let's say in that moment he has a wardrobe malfunction, if you will. He played it so great and is so willing to kind of have fun with his persona, so I couldn't be more thrilled about it.
There was a couple of scenes that changed and transformed into something much, much better for me. So, you know, you just have to go and trust with what Paul says.
Spread it to me, DeLuca!
He's incredibly prepared. He's always right there. And then Paul would be like, yeah, we're not actually going to say any of this. Can you say this? And then hand him an insane monologue that literally was like a 4-minute thing.
I can't remember that.
He just had the most fun doing these ridiculous lines that we gave him, and he went for it, and he didn't try to be funny, which that's the key to any comedy. Don't try to be funny, and he just nailed it.
All of a sudden you get fed this new silly line, and it's, you know, it's in the middle of a take. It's very difficult to keep your composure, but at the same time, you know, that's the excitement of it.
How about looking like a guy George Clooney shoots hoops with?
You said both dislocated shoulders at the same time.
I won't need it. I'm 99% sure I won't.
I don't break that easily, but when he delivers stuff so seriously and angry, it makes me laugh.
Fuck it, the Destroyer's fine. That's the best one.
He's on par with the best people in this movie, for sure. I mean, if he gets tired of smashing people, he'll be able to make them laugh, that's for sure. And I think he's gonna
steal the show. Because you look like a school teacher who won a trip to Italy on Wheel of Fortune. That's why. Thanks, soccer mum. What, you gonna drag your minivan to Paris? I loop my way up to the cockpit!
What about the Jason Statham in the rom-com? Come on, what's? See, immediately you look at it and you just go, that's kind of a, oh, somebody should do that.
Finished?
Yeah.
Round 2.
All right. Don't do that thing with your thumb again. I can't believe I said it! I hate myself for saying it!
This movie has fighting, car work, moped, motorcycle work, airplane work, helicopter work. I mean, we've pretty much got all of our action facets covered.
Paul's a big fan of action movies, and I didn't know this until I met him. You know, in his early years, he wanted to become a stuntman. And so we share an ambition that was way back then.
When I took the meeting with him, I'd shown him some previsits from other shows that I've done, you know, and they were really hardcore, and he loved them. And I was really surprised. And seeing that he was kind of an action geek like me, and Wally, I was like, this is a perfect storm for some really, really sick action.
Your 3 guests are coming out that door behind you right now. Watch your 6.
Yahtzee.
We're doing a fight sequence with Jude Law where his character Fine runs down a hallway shooting a couple guys, and then he gets into a centerpiece where we have multiple characters coming in for a piece of elaborate fight choreography that we designed where he's kicking ass, basically.
Jude Law blew my mind because he showed up and he nailed everything. I was so in awe, like I'd never seen anything like that. It was like had Bruce Lee showed up on the set or something.
So yeah, it was quite an intense way to start. It was a good way to start though, because it kind of got me in the mood for this guy and what at the heart of him he was capable of doing.
He came in, I don't think with any training, and did that whole opening sequence on like a couple hours of training. So it's like, really?
He's very aware of what feels good, what looks good, so that just makes us and our job a little bit easier when you have an actor that's so willing and able to do some action the way that we designed it.
Here, watch your back. Oh, it was a close one, Fine.
Who's the finest of them all?
You are?
The next thing we had, immediately following the tunnel sequence, we go right to the kitchen. So it was kind of like, you know, my department was neck deep from the day we jumped off.
Paul and I came up with this idea that we're in this kind of enclosed boxing ring, if you will, and in the middle would be this enormous stove. And they're circling this stove, trying to get at one another. Paul said, I want as many scary weapon-like things in there that we can manage. So we hung a big pot rack over the same stove with all the knives and cleavers so that at any given time, someone can pull out a deadly weapon.
Just got to Budapest and it was like, okay, tomorrow we do the fight scene. I was like, wait, what? That seems like a big one to start with.
The kitchen fight for me was the big test because I only met Melissa one day before and we only had a day to practice, but she came in and she knew her spots. Her ability to learn and retain choreography she's as good as any action star out there. Her ability to hit a mark is outstanding. She did a lot of things in this movie I never would have imagined that she could do.
We were worried about lettuce and we were worried about, French bread. With a breadstick, one take and it's done. So I think we had about 100 breadsticks. Send half of that off to special effects because we had to put a solid rod on the inside of it so that the area that she was holding onto wouldn't break and disintegrate in her hands. We had to score that so that when she cuts through it with a knife, we get sort of a nice clean cut.
I kept hitting her hand with those pans. I really was clobbering her. Her hands really got it. At one point I was like, I'm gonna break 3 fingers and I don't mean to, but it's gonna happen.
She abused me. She got me good. I know she didn't mean it, but she gave me a good one with the pen, a really good one. And then she gave me a couple of good ones on my knuckles. So that was our first time meeting each other.
Oh God, he went into a building.
I love doing stunts. I get excited about it because I trust the people I'm working with, but this is one where I was kind of like, oh man. They stacked an enormous amount of boxes. That's the big thing for stunt guys is they fall into cardboard boxes because then it slows you down but isn't like a firm, hard stop.
It's a good death, for sure. What do you think, Zoe?
I'm really excited and I'm looking forward to it. I want to nail it and it's going to look awesome.
He's trying to reach for me, but he's not really getting there. And I think he might fall. know what he's doing. It's probably a stunt thing.
He falls out of bed farther than that, bro. It's no big deal.
No, no, no!
He went off and he just punched through this one hole in all these boxes. And it was just like, oh my God, what happened? It was such a small hole that you went he must have landed head first.
You don't really feel it, you know, the adrenaline is just rushing so hard that you just hit it hard, you're alive, and then you feel good.
It's not enough in the world of Spy that a man falls 200 feet to his death. He then must be thrown up on.
It was pretty gross actually, because the vomit actually smelled like vomit, even though it was just carrots and, what was it, chicken soup and some other stuff, but I think they felt the need to make it as real as possible. While I was laying there, I thought this is going to be probably make the history books of film, because I don't think it's ever been done before. It's going to be in one of those rundowns of 50 best death scenes ever, I hope. Today we are going to do a zero-G performance with Rose and the steward of the plane. That's correct.
And his name isn't Stuart, though.
I've had a bunch of hemorrhoid wipes repeatedly thrown at my head and neck. This whole area has been doused with hemorrhoid wipes.
I don't know. I think there was a bit of joy from her to strike him in the face over and over again. I don't know what the relationship is. All I know is I love them both, and Mitch took several for the team.
Ow! Hey, Mitch, can you take one more in the face? I just want to set just for that last moment.
The flying part was really easy for me. I think it was much harder on Rose because I just had to do a lot of landing on her and just a lot of landing hard on Rose. I'm sorry, Rose. I didn't write the script. I had a lot of body parts, hands, legs, balls, all over Roseburn. That's why I went to acting school.
This is by far the most physically challenging role I have ever had, because you read a little script that's maybe an eighth of a page, quarter of a page maybe, and it's like, oh, hanging from a helicopter, blah, blah. I didn't think about that equates to 3 days hanging from a helicopter.
I might have to go to the bathroom.
There's an aggressive movement of the helicopter while she's hanging on, and we did use Melissa to do all that. We start off gently, and we don't know how she's going to react, but she was really a trooper, and she did extremely well.
Bobby Cannavale and I were having all these crazy fistfights inside the helicopter, which is about this big inside. It's incredibly tiny, and everything is sharp and pokey, so it's just a lot of us trying to be tough, but then every once in a while you're just like, oh God, that really hurt. We're covered in bruises, but it was still pretty fun.
Yves DeBono and I have worked together often the past 4 years. I'm a big fan of his work, and his things are always the way that they say they're going to be. And in this scene right here, when the BMW cruised by and they lit it up, Yves had 30 hits, 30 big giant squibs in the car, blew out the windows, and then we dropped 2 300-pound windows on the side of the Four Seasons, which was pretty cool.
We took their windows out and we put ours in. I think we messed up their curtains a little bit though, but I think we end up buying those.
We did it in one take. We had an extra window and we had an extra car to blow, but we did it all in one, so someone's going to be driving around a car filled with explosives in the door. So there you go. You see it on the street, it's not my fault.
That looks high-tech.
It's like the future.
Today we have what's called a jetpack flyer. Instead of a traditional jetpack, we're going to go with the flying briefcase Segway. One of our biggest challenges for this setup is that the Segway is quite heavy, so we have to do a couple of things to tether the Segway to the harness of the actor so that he's not carrying so much of the weight.
What the camera can't see is that there's 2 giant straps pushing against my testicles.
He hired me because I'm really good with faces and can make, surprised or scared, sad, surprised.
So one of those three I'll be using in today's shoot, so I don't want to spoil it for you right now. So stick around, we'll be right back with more I Can't Feel My Dick right now. I feel like Mary Poppins.
Hey Pat, does this flying thing make my ass look big?
I always wanted to fly, and Paul Feig made it possible today.
Hey Pat, I'm flying! Yeah, I know! Get off of it right now! Get on!
I said, hey, I'd love to wear a gray suit and fly in Budapest, and he said, fine, but it's 3:30 in the morning, and how'd you get into my house? Can you put some clothes on?
Pat, I'm gonna need some of those hemorrhoid wipes.
That's the type of guy Paul Feig is. I was naked in his doorway, and he still gave me a part in his movie. I'm sorry. You can cut it.
I have my craziest stunts in this part of the movie for sure. Like I run through the streets, I dodge cars, which by the way got really close to me. Apparently the trick to making it look like you almost get hit by a car is to almost get hit by a car. And it was like slippery, it had been raining, but it was, you know, again, it's kind of weirdly fun to do those things.
Did you see me like shoot off the side of the car and land on my ass? Yes! I have a big wet stain on my butt.
You know, riding a little scooter around, you think that's fun until you're like, well, you're not just bopping around sightseeing. I'm supposed to be like coming in and taking turns, and I'm in heels on cobblestone, so even when I try to stop, my feet are going all over the place.
The girl that dumped that BMW moped today for us, her name is Timea Barty. She's the Hungarian national motocross champion. We went looking far and wide for a good riding double, and she's the one who did the whole chase. She jumped the bike, did split traffic. A real gem, a real good find.
Hello, I'm Melissa McCarthy, and these are my lovely, bionic, amazing stunt doubles because I really just sit around. It takes all three of us just to make up for my shortcomings.
You have no
and then
shortcomings.
I just stand up and go, and I look like I've done a stunt.
Special effects team has built a little fake road, which is, you'll notice is raised up by the way we shoot it, and special effects and our digital team will make it look like it's part of the road, and basically we filled it with some sort of sludge that is basically cement that won't dry. You have no idea the months of planning that went into this one joke, so if you didn't laugh at that joke, god damn it, you just wasted all of our time.
It's the first time that I've seen a director get so involved doing stunts, especially for a comedy movie. Like usually when we're doing action films, they like to pretend that they're a part of it, but they don't actually jump into stunts as far as what the stunt people do. And Paul has done it on a number of occasions of wanting to be thrown into mats or falling or being part of the team. So yeah, it's been a really cool experience having a director that's willing to do the things that we do.
Really? Let's roll, here we go. And 3, 2, 1, action. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Come on. What a boss! What a boss! What a boss! Hell yeah. It's fun. That was amazing.
What's up? This is 50 Cent. Welcome to Club Nomad. It goes down here. You understand me? This is the hottest spot right here.
All these kind of different threads that we've been following for about 2/3 of the movie are suddenly coming together in one place. And Paul's idea was we do it in a very public way. Put them all in the middle of this nightclub. I was struggling with, like, where can I get a nightclub? Do I have to find a warehouse and turn it into a nightclub? What am I going to do? And Paul said, I got the answer right here.
Hello, here we are at Club Nomad, Budapest's hottest pop-up club. Where we're in is actually the Museum of Ethnology. It's a big museum across from Parliament. When we were scouting, we found this location, which I originally thought could be good as a casino, and then realized this would be great to turn into a nightclub. So what we have here is a lot of production value, because this is all old, beautiful marble, and as you look around, you can see it's the 3 stories of opulence and wonderfulness. So I felt like the Spy type of nightclub, the kind of nightclub that seems exotic and cool, and yet is still a little trashy.
When I walked into the club scene, I thought, oh, okay, I've come to the wrong place. This is obviously the European Convention of Prostitutes.
The soon as I walked in, I was like, oh shit, the energy to this actual room is completely different. I said, we should be actually shooting a music video.
I'm standing in this converted museum with like 500 extras watching 50 Cent rap on stage and thinking, this is actually really quite weird.
Look at all the people we got. We have 500 extras. We could storm Parliament right now. Wait, don't tell them I said that.
Beginning of the days is always hard for us because 500 people coming, dressing, we have to check them, we have to check the clothes, we have to check everything, you know, the makeup, and the whole day is starting for us at 5 o'clock. So it's a long, long days with a lot of people.
I don't normally find Jason Statham attractive, but with that hair and mustache, it's got me questioning a lot of things right now.
That whole scene just looked fantastic. All the crowd looked amazing. He looked like a 1970s porn star.
I think it, to begin with, was a little sort of worry, but then once he actually got on the set and everybody saw and everybody thought he looked fabulous, then yeah, I think he loved it.
I, saw him doing some of his dancing stuff with Melissa, which was just hysterical.
We're rolling around on the dance floor, we're making silly moves up. It's, if you're dancing with the best, it's you do the best you can. So hopefully she got the best out of me.
Who's dominating now?
To see him play a character like this was definitely unique. He's always playing the tough guy part, but to see him dancing with this crazy wig and mustache on was definitely a unique sight.
Just had some goulash, the shit was on point.
Wow! 50 Cent piece!
Oh, well, of course, just watching Miranda jump on 50. Hysterical, absolutely. And that was her first day.
Looked at the schedule and was like, oh, wow. Okay, that's diving literally and metaphorically. Do you like that? I'm pleased with that. Straight into the movie. And funnily enough, I hadn't met 50 Cent before. So 50 Cent, nice to meet you. I'm now going to jump on top of you and then fall on you, if that's all right. International rap artist, famous star person.
When I agreed to this, I had no idea that she could actually tackle the way she can. I could have prepared myself with professional football players.
I said, no, I don't want the stunt double. I usually do all this. I'm going to go for it. And the stunt coordinator was like, no, I'm scared. Don't, you can't do it. And I did it. I'm really pleased.
Look where we are.
However, please note the comedy injuries. This was due to tackling 50 Cent to the floor, and then the security guards had to grab hold of me to drag me off. That's their finger marks, thumb. Quite painful. Kiss me! I love you! So yeah, don't say comedy isn't hard work, people. Thank you. 50, I love you! Kiss me!
Oh, the first time it wasn't actually on the script, but she said, this is sexual.
This is sexual.
Oh, you trying to hurt me or fuck me? And then she started to move a little bit on my leg, and I was like, shit, is this in the movie? I really didn't know how to respond to this shit because I thought that just came out of nowhere. Was that improvisation?
50, listen to me. I knitted a baby blanket out of found hair on a bus for you. And then I wrote down my number and I put it in his pocket.
And I find that she put her number in my pocket. I'm like, yo, are you serious, Miranda?
That's typically not 50 Cent's type of girl, but I don't know what happened last night back at the Four Seasons. I'd love to hear the stories on that one now.
He then rang me later that night, and we went for a drink in the hotel lobby, and 50 pence met 50 cents. Together we make £1. Together we make around 80 pence. Watch the space, Mr. and Mrs. 50 Cent, here we come. Together we make $1.
Well, we did it. We conquered Club Nomad. 3 days in here. Felt like 6, that's why I'm saying that. 3 days in here. There was fights, there was love, there was laughter, there was sweating, mostly from me. It's a little ripe in here right now, to be honest. 3 days, everybody's been in the same costume. I'm tired. I'm gonna go have a drink and then go die. So that was it. Club Nomad in the books. Enjoy.
I'm sorry, I didn't know you were filming. Hello. I'm stepping on my own skirt trying to get in. Hello.
Good morning.
Good
I'm such a sucker for a bad wig and a character. I'm always like, can I have a short gray wig? Paul was like, you want to go gray? I was like, oh, I should look terrible. I was like, you know, if you really go into the field, I love the thought of it being like, you are a tourist that nobody takes a second look at. And it was just so funny that all the guys and the other spies get to be very glamorous, and I get a, you know, cat t-shirt and a gray short curly wig.
I think she just wears them royally. She looks great in all of them, and some are comical, some are, you know, quite slick. It just suits the scene.
You look amazing, Susan.
I look like someone's homophobic aunt. Today's lovely ensemble is for Carol Jenkins, who is one of my covers during this thing.
We have to stop the sale of a nuclear bomb. They send in someone who looks like Santa Claus's fucking wife.
With Carol Jenkins, we really like the idea of her being like a Midwestern mom who probably watches too much QVC.
I am related to this woman. I will be this woman. Give me about 40 years and I will look exactly like this. It's in my genetic makeup of being a Midwestern woman.
You'll be given a new identity.
Oh, thank God. Oh, no.
Favorite has to be the cat woman outfit. I just love it. The grey wig, the pink lip, the silly cat outfit, and just hilarious.
Hello, this is my Penny Morgan ensemble. She's fond of cats. I think we can all see that. Kerchief, because she's not afraid of a little splash of color. And just in case you weren't sure that she liked cats, it's a cat paw bag.
Hey, ciao bella.
Oh.
Welcome to Rome.
I remember I was filming at the studios where they film The Price is Right, and she looked to me. On the days they filmed The Price is Right, there were just lots of this character walking around.
She's not cat shy. She's proud of her cat ownership. I was pitching that we had in memory of, like Skittles or something terrible, but I thought it was really funny. She had like an in memorandum. Hey, I'll save it. I'll save it for another movie. You missed out. Missed out, spy.
When she's got the long black wig on, she looks fantastic, you know? That's the thing with her. She can look really silly one minute and really glamorous the next.
You guys are terrible. This is when I changed to try to be fancy at the casino.
We're gonna seduce him. That your big fucking plan?
Yeah, what if it is? Why is that so hard to believe?
Because you look like a flute player in a wedding band. That's fucking why.
I actually really like the outfit. I mean, bizarrely, I'm more comfortable in like Midwestern lady outfits. We don't know what that's about, but it seems to be my real comfort zone. But I do like this one a lot. You know, let me just get my room.
It's her way to come out and show off who she thinks she is. She thinks she looks great, and Brenda just keeps talking about how poorly she's dressed.
And if the rest of your clothes look like that dress, down, I can send someone to burn them for you. And then she goes to, you know, to looking extremely glamorous and gorgeous with this great blunt black bob and chic clothes. So it's been a field day, I think, to sort of create all these looks with us.
Suck on this, Raina. This is the last look after Raina keeps making fun of my outfits. So I finally put on something that I think is pretty cool, but she still ends up making fun of me.
God damn it, I told you to dress up. And take off those gloves, you look like Darth fucking Vader.
We had to kind of work from the stunts backwards. And I knew, you know, couldn't be a dress, couldn't be anything that I couldn't move in. And I think still needed to look her most confident. So we were like, this is not the moment for a skirt.
Holy shit.
I think it's a good look. I feel a little tougher in it, and it's funny, but you know, my girls, when I'm in this and they come to the set, they think it's like, they call it my spy look. When I have this hair and this makeup, they buy it. So according to the 4- and 7-year-old crowd, this works. We like to hurt ourselves when making pictures.
I hit her in the head. I broke her arm.
He's seen me fall twice, once in his trunks.
Watching her and Paul together, it really is amazing. I mean, I love how Paul's always coming up with new ideas, and she obviously does as well at the same time. So she's coming up with a way of changing a line or a way of doing something, and he is. I mean, it's just like two people riffing off each other.
Ragtag.
I literally like turned into Bob Hope.
Aye. I hired you for still.
Damn it!
We have such an easy relationship. I think Paul is just, he truly is the best. And I don't mean that like, oh, he's great, whatever. I think he is so incredibly talented, and to be that fun on set, he makes everybody come up to their best ability.
I love the fact that he goes, women can do exactly what men can do. And more. And actually, when a woman sort of shines her light as a comedy actress, it's even more special than a man in a way. There's something unique about it. That's me being objective, obviously.
Melissa is just a force of nature. My favorite thing is when she'll start to say a joke that I know is super rude or super mean, and she'll stop herself halfway through. She goes, "Oh God, I can't say that." And I was like, "You gotta say that. Whatever it is, say it, because I know it's gonna be the funniest goddamn thing." So I never let her censor herself.
You fucked that monster once, and you just dropped a fucking mic and walk out.
Oh my God, the racket fly!
Come on, you guys.
Well, we had a scene with a bat, or several bats, that were pestering Susan when she was at her desk. So we had these mechanical bats made.
This is how you work it, basically. Just pull it like a trigger, and then your little bat is flying.
We actually had let Paul do the bat control, and he had a lot of fun doing that.
You know, there's something about this whole situation. Is this the whole reason you wrote the movie?
Yes, just for this.
Oh my God.
Things are getting serious now.
Paul never takes off his jacket, and now his jacket's off. That's how into it he is. So
I felt like, you know what, I'm attacking Melissa with this bat, so who should do it other than me, her friend and director?
you go in. Here we go. Okay, wait for it. Oh,
Ow! God! Ow!
You need to have a little talent of puppeteering, so you can try to figure out how that's working. But thankfully the director was working with these ones, and he's very good with it actually. I think he's much better than us, so it looked good.
Bitch. All right, I'm still here. Wait for it, fine. 3, 2, 1, now! God damn it!
If it was one of my guys, we would be more nervous about, you know, how far we could take it. So it was a great idea for Paul to pick up the bat and do it himself.
Now! Oh, they're clawing at my head.
It's a very personal thing how you want your bats to interact with your actors, and I just felt like I had the touch. I also, as a kid, wanted to be a puppeteer. That was one of my dreams. I thought I was going to be like a puppeteer on Sesame Street or something, and I was pretty good at puppeteering. So it was a dream come true to sit behind Melissa and torment her with a mechanical bat on a stick.
Yes, I'm here, fine. Of course I'm here. What else would I be doing? Fighting bats? Now change. Change.
I think acting in a lot of ways is like a musician, like a band, and people that work together a long time, to watch them do that, it's like a band member. It's just, you know, riffing, finding something. It's been a gift to do that, to watch them. Probably my highlight of my time here.
Now officially a wrap on Miss Melissa McCarthy.
Holy smokes! And now drinks.
Oh, it was very exciting. I feel so privileged that I worked with such a talented actors. All right, I'm going now. Bye.
Hi, I'm Nancy and I work at the CIA, and I'm here with my colleagues John. Say hi.
Hello, I'm John.
Yeah, I've said that. I've said you're
Okay,
John.
good.
And this is
Work at the CIA.
Sharon. Yeah, I was going to introduce you.
Sharon.
Sharon.
We're analysts at the CIA, and what we like to think about is if we were given our own gadgets, what they would be. Isn't that right, Nancy?
Yes. Yes. Don't need to be quite so sarcastic. So, starting with, we could say this. I would use this to wrap around someone's face like a mummy and suffocate them.
Why wouldn't you use your hands?
because we're using objects, and this would make it cleaner, and I would therefore wouldn't necessarily need hand sanitizer afterwards.
You see hands coming, you're guarded. But you see this coming, you're like, oh, I was going to wipe my nose, and then you're suffocating.
You could go just hang on 1 second here. I mean,
See, whenever you see tissue coming at you, you're
Nancy?
always at ease. That's just
Don't
one
touch
thing
my
about
face, Nancy.
self-defense.
Don't touch my face. Do you have another one? Oh, a stapler.
I don't know why, John, but because I'm in this region here, I'm thinking staple a dick.
Can I see that for a moment? I would
So-
probably just turn it into a gun.
Probably.
But it doesn't have any bullets.
There's no bullets, so
There's no bullet.
the gun would be.
This is all theoretical.
Yeah.
You
I
have
mean, I
to
guess
turn
at
this-
that point, just use a gun.
No,
You know?
so I'm using this
You know
as a
what I mean?
stapler, and I would staple
exactly.
someone's dick.
I would use it
hurt and
to
staple them.
attach two pieces of paper together.
Okay. I keep this on my desk. It looks like a purse, because I love purses. And I would turn these Post-it notes into throwing stars. That's what I would do.
See, perfect.
And then when you're done, you can just use this as a bomb.
Exactly. Or I would use it to keep things in and carry around.
John, I don't
Just
think
a-
you've got I don't think you've understood the premise of this.
No.
A handbag is something that you carry things around, and we're saying
Exactly.
This is a
no,
dispenser.
we're saying if this had to be something in the field, what would it be? So it can't just be a handbag.
It's probably like a handbag holder. You keep handbags in it. Now this looks like a common telephone, yeah?
It is a telephone, John.
Yep. You can use this as a communication device to call people. If not, it can be used as a paperweight or a doorstop.
Again,
Or a telephone. You
how-
could use it as a telephone.
How would a doorstop help you in the field, particularly?
Well, I don't know, maybe you put it against the door, make some phone calls. Call the person and say, stop trying to come in.
Okay. This is a potted plant, a regular.
Can I just say, I got these for everyone's desk when I came back from France.
And you know what's funny about these is they don't even have to be weaponized because they already smell like shit.
Oh, see?
So you use them as a repellent.
That's another tool that we
gift.
use as a CIA.
Use them as a repellent.
Rabbit bitchiness is another skill that is
Do you know what I do with these?
You got something in there. Now see, this is another device you can use to hold two pieces of paper together. Put these back then.